Hello, friends. I'm here to talk about this character, Monstro. Enter Monstro. This issue is Downcast number 5. It's available right now on alternacomics.com. You can pick it up there. And I'll be posting signed copies up on my site here pretty soon as well. But this one has been interesting because this cover right here has sparked the most conversation online by people that knew nothing about it. Like they seeing it for the first time. And I counted 3 or 4 comments just yesterday that said, as people were posting that they had got their crowdfunding campaign, who is this guy? Who's the guy in the diver suit? What is Downcast? And is that book good? So I want to talk about the Monstro and where he came from. So while this is Alterna Comics' first appearance of Monstro, this is not technically his first appearance because all the Downcast issues are reprinting of the story, but it's the first time it's been in this format. So you definitely want to get that. It's awesome. First off, the Monstro is a character that's in the Downcast universe. Monstro lives down on the planet Earth, while most all of civilization lives up here in the city of Strata. And way down there on Earth is where Monstro comes from. In fact, he comes from the ocean. He lives in the sea. And his origin story actually started way back here in Downcast Volume 2. This is a misprint of Downcast Volume 2, Rise and Fall. And in the main story here, there was nothing about Monstro, but in the back, in these crowdfunded issues, there's always a little bit of extra information, little extras. And one that was in here is called The Secret History of Strata. The Secret History of Strata, I'm going to move this so I don't wreck it. Secret History of Strata is not a comic book. I don't know what you would call it, but what I imagine this as being is sort of a found footage document. Like that's how it would be. So it's a bit of a story written by Clint Stoker. There we go. There's a whole creative team, bunch of artists put it together, and it tells about the origins of the cult here, the Deadliners, and um, how essentially this is the origin of everything of Strata, why Downcast makes sense in the universe, and so it's about a one guy who is a devoted deadliner, and he explains himself and then why he's keeping these documents, and so he has documented the finding of this meteor, this stone that has glowing properties, and this it gives you this strange urge to eat it. So believe it or not, this right here from the Field Journal of Charles Baker, this is the Monstro. He used to be a normal guy. Well, normal. He was, from England, and he traveled to the Amazon to do some exploring. Took this sketch. This is actually by Peter Gilmore, but this is his drawing, his sketch that he did of a meteor that landed in the Amazon that glowed, and this meteor would basically tempt people to eat it. Like it would give off this glowing dust. Um, Odd but necessary new rule: workers caught licking the stone should be banished from the site. For this desire to gaze almost always escalated into a desire to eat, to become the goddess, and that kind of gets into it. So it would kind of trick people into wanting to eat it. He himself, as they are taking this home, he finds himself beguiled by the stone. And as he's on the ship, this is what the ship's captain said. He said, Mr. Charles Baker went on screaming for his mother. He said he was a god and other blaspheming. When he took to gnawing and attempting to ingest the boulder, it was put upon me to arrest the lunatic, as he was in a state of weakness. We convinced him, sorry, it's hard to read through my camera, convinced him to don the copper hat, which is the diving suit. That's what they call it back then, and underwater gear. I filled the breathing line with an absurd portion of ether, and we tossed him into the sea with the ship's anchor affixed. And so there is one picture in here, first image in a book published with Monstro. And this is an earlier design uh, of what he looked like, tied to his anchor, thrown to the bottom of the ocean, where he would die. Except that he didn't die. Now, we don't find that out here in Volume 2. And again, it's only in the crowdfunded version do you get that. Um, in Volume 3, the other note, again, this is a character that was developed in the extras sections. But this is the first real story arc with Monstro. There he is. And you do get a little backup story back here. Pretty crudely drawn, if I do say so myself. But there's Charles Baker in the boat. Same story, essentially. Now you finally have it illustrated and condensed a bit. And there he is, wandering the ocean floor. We find that out until he eventually comes to his senses and sees that the city, as he wakes up now, he's from the 1800s, he wakes up and he sees that the city has left him behind on the earth. And so he doesn't know how much time has passed. He doesn't know anything other than he is in essentially a new world. Everything's different. Everything he knew is gone. So that is the story of the Monstro and his origins. Now, when he goes up to the city of Strata, that's where he enters into the main storyline, which is here. This is, if you're following the alternate issues, that's how you get into it. And let me see, first page. It's hard. It's a little tough with the ads because I'm not used to the page count. There we go. There's his big entry into the Downcast universe and interacting with Joanne and Jax there. And so he's a really fun character. He's a bit of an anti-hero. He's not a bad guy, even though his first appearance here, he is fighting with the main characters. But he is, I don't know, I guess I don't spoil it, but you guys got to read it. He's an interesting character, and he will continue with the series through the next volume, which would be volume 4 that we're working on right now. And so, really fun character. A lot of people ask about him. There will be more characters that are very interesting like him, but in ways that you cannot possibly imagine. I'll say that. So that's the Monstro, really cool character. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Appreciate you all for watching, and I'll see you in another video. We will do another character spotlight. Eventually I want to get through all of them. But thank you. Bye.